remains were discovered, consistent with the description of Gabby Petito.
Heartbreaking discovery in the search for this missing woman, where investigators found a body matching the description of Gabby Petito, and the very latest on the case.
Plus, President Biden's booster plan put on ice, where the back and forth over boosters stands now, and the push going on in Palm Beach County to get a third shot to those who qualify.
And then strange symptoms related to COVID weeks, if not months, after first getting sick. This morning, we're looking at how even kids aren't spared as long haulers. CBS 12 News This Morning starts now.
You're watching CBS 12 News This Morning.
A busy Monday for us. Hope you had a great weekend, everybody. I'm Matt Lincoln.
I'm Ashley Glass. It is dark early, 6:01. Let's go to Zach. Check on that Monday morning forecast.
All right, and good morning to you, Ashley and Matt. Good morning to everybody else at home as well. Starting off this Monday, nice and dry locally, but we do have showers and storms flaring up off the coast of the First Coast, the Space Coast, even the Treasure Coast, and some of those debris clouds, those clouds in the upper levels that kind of get sheared. Well, they're being sheared to the south. So this morning, partly to mostly cloudy skies across the area, courtesy of that cloud cover. However, with that cloud cover being said, I'm still giving you a green light because it's not producing rain on our roadways. So partly cloudy, muggy to start off with that drive time forecast at 7 a.m. We're in the mid to upper 70s right now. We'll stay there through 7. By 9 o'clock, we warm up into the lower 80s, and while the sun will be peeking out here and there, I think we increase our cloud cover throughout the morning and early afternoon hours. That's why a lot of moisture from an upper level high that's not moving and an upper level cutoff low that's not moving. So we get two moisture feeds, two conveyor belts of moisture into our area. Showers, thunderstorms expected this afternoon. Heavy rain a threat, especially for the interior. I'm talking Pahokee, I'm talking Belle Glade, I'm talking Indiantown. We're watching you for some flooding. We'll time it all out for you when I come back a little later on, guys.
All right, Zach, thanks. Take a look right now on our roads here, and this is 23 minutes from Palm City to Jupiter, all green right now. We're not seeing any major problems on our roadways.
6:02 is the time, and this morning a tragic discovery in the search for Gabby Petito. The FBI says they found a body at a campsite in Wyoming matching the description of the 22-year-old.
Yeah, she was reported missing more than a week ago after going on a cross-country road trip with her fiancé, Brian Laundrie. He is now a person of interest in the case. We have team coverage on this morning. CBS 12 News' Lexi Nall is live in Northport near Sarasota as crews are entering another day of searching a wildlife preserve there for Laundrie.
Yeah, but we need to start with Sam at the live desk now. I know you're following the very latest on this case. What are investigators saying this morning?
Well, Matt and Ashley, authorities say they have found a body that matches Gabby's description at a campsite near Teton National Forest in Wyoming, where Gabby was last seen alive. The heartbreaking discovery came after investigators spent hours searching that area on Sunday and days before that as well. Now, authorities still have to do the full forensic identification, but they felt confident enough to share the news with Gabby's family. Investigators say they feel for her family and friends, especially her parents.
As every parent can imagine, this is an incredibly difficult time for the family and friends. Our thoughts and prayers are with them. We ask that you all respect the privacy as they mourn the loss of their daughter.
An autopsy is scheduled for tomorrow. That, of course, will confirm the identity and provide more information about the cause of death. Right now, the Petito family is asking for privacy, but in a heartbreaking tweet last night, Gabby's father shared this picture of his daughter saying, quote, "She touched the world." Ashley, Matt.
All right, Sam, at 6:04, our team coverage continues now with our Lexi Nall live in Northport in the Sarasota area.
Yeah, Lexi, investigators will enter another day in a search here for Gabby's fiancé.
That's right, guys. We know that Sam has been discussing that those remains identified are consistent with Gabby Petito, but this case is far from over. One of the biggest questions that remains this morning, where is Brian Laundrie? Now, his family says that he went into the Carlton Nature Reserve here in Florida on Tuesday. We only learned that when the Laundries invited officials over Friday to report him missing. He could be just about anywhere, but this massive wildlife preserve is where officials will be focusing their efforts when the sun comes up here today and the search resumes. And it's about 25,000 acres in this swampy area, so there's plenty of ground to cover. And we know that Northport police are being assisted by the FBI here. Now, the news of Gabby's death will not be slowing down this search. If anything, we are just expecting it to intensify things. And remember that at this time, Brian is still considered a person of interest. Now, that means when police find him, they'll presumably want to take him home, have a conversation. Of course, there's been a lot of urgency to talk to Brian throughout this entire investigation, but we do know that the classification of Brian as a person of interest could change as that investigation into the cause of death of Gabby Petito unfolds. For now, reporting live in Northport, Lexi Nall, back to you.
All right, Lexi, CBS 12 News is bringing you every development on this case that has the nation's attention. Download our app for free. CBS 12 News for updates sent straight to your phone.
6:06 now, and the Biden administration was expecting to roll out COVID-19 booster shots for people over 16, but that plan has come to a halt.
So for now, the Food and Drug Administration's only recommending the booster for people 65 and older and those at a higher risk of severe COVID illness.
And they are not recommending a third dose for people 60 and older, citing a lack of data about the safety and the efficacy of a third dose.
All right, so what is next here moving forward? Our Madeline Montgomery live near a Publix location in Palm Beach Gardens where people can get a booster if they qualify. It's one option there at Publix. Maddie, what do we need to know?
Pharmacies like this Publix are giving out the booster shots to those who need them, and so are nursing homes and senior communities to the residents who qualify to make sure that they're as safe as possible from the Delta variant. And we have video actually from booster shots being given out at Sinai residencies in Boca. Their community held a booster shot clinic through the weekend. 400 people got the third shot, and it was residents and staff who were able to get the jab. And those who got the shot said that they were happy to get a third jab if it meant another layer of protection.
It doesn't hurt at all, and it makes you feel so much safer.
Moderna and Pfizer are arguing it's not just seniors who need boosters. They want everyone qualified for a vaccine to get a third shot. The FDA and CDC want more testing to be done before that's allowed. And in the meantime, if you are over 65 or if you are immunocompromised, so if you're qualified for this third shot, you can get them again here at Publix. You can also get them at CVS and Walgreens. And Palm Beach County did not open new vaccination sites for this booster shot. Reporting live in North Palm Beach, Madeline Montgomery, CBS 12 News.
All right, Maddie, thank you. This morning, Indian River County elementary and middle schools have a new mask policy. Masks will be either required or optional, depending on how many COVID cases are in each school. So here's how it works. If cases are less than 1% in that school, masks are optional. If they are between 1% and 2%, masks are highly recommended. At schools that fall between 3% and 4%, masks are required with a parent opt-out option. And if cases are over 5%, masks are required unless a family provides a medical opt-out. In less than 2 weeks, these same rules will apply to high schools.
6:08 is the time right now. It's one of the most mysterious things about COVID. Long haulers, people still dealing with symptoms related to the virus weeks or even months after they test positive. It's pretty rare for this to happen to an adult, but even more rare and scary for any parent to think about here, kids having these lingering symptoms. So I want you to meet a little girl in Boca Raton. She just turned 4. I talked to her family and doctors about her swollen lips, what we know about pediatric long haulers a year and a half into this pandemic, and what still needs to be figured out. Lake Johnson, just 4 years old, isn't feeling great today.
Tired.
Swollen lips and bleeding gums. Mom Lindy says it's been like this for weeks now.
I hate it. It stinks. You know, no mom wants to see their kid going through anything and not being able to fight it.
Lake first tested positive for COVID in July. The virus then ran through the whole family, even with mom and dad fully vaccinated. But Lake got the worst of it. Runny nose, cough, very tired, and relentless fevers up to 104.
It would appear and then disappear and come back, and she would just be asleep, sitting upright on the couch, like things I've never seen her do before.
7 weeks later, those flu-like symptoms are gone, but Lake's doctors say her swollen lips and bleeding gums are COVID related.
I think one of the biggest questions is, why are some kids affected and others aren't?
Dr. Coley Rosenfeld, a pediatrician on staff at West Boca Medical Center, says this is what parents need to know. Most COVID cases in kids are mild,
Most kids are not long haulers. The most recent studies on this by researchers in the UK show only about 4% of kids with COVID still have symptoms 4 weeks after they test positive. That drops to just 1% 8 weeks out. Lake is coming up on that 8-week mark, the rarest of these rare cases. We asked Dr. Rosenfeld, are there kids with symptoms that linger even longer?
We still don't know that, and that's one of the scary things about COVID is that there's a lot we don't know.
Unfortunately, that includes not knowing what treatments might help.
I know in the outpatient adult world, they're doing things like steroids and Z-Paks. And for kids, most of what we do is supportive care. So treating fevers, treating pain, making sure they're staying hydrated. There are some, outpatient antibody infusions that are done for more high-risk kids. At this time, those are only approved for teenagers, though.
So not a lot of options right now. That is something doctors and researchers are working on.
Poor little Lake. It's so hard seeing the video there. So what can a parent do? I mean, how do they know that the symptoms that their child is going through is something COVID related?
The American Academy of Pediatrics suggests that once a child's out of isolation after having COVID, that they make a follow-up appointment with their pediatrician. So Dr. Rosenfeld, who we talked to, said, do not skip out on that appointment, even if your child seems perfectly fine, because the doctor might discover something that mom and dad wouldn't even think could be a long-haul symptom.
As you know, pediatrician, the expert there. All right, good stuff, Ashley. Thank you. 6:11 now, still ahead. Trash mounting on the streets of Port St. Lucie, and the complaints are piling up too. How crews hope to get pickup schedules back on track.
And then SpaceX's latest adventure, raising serious money for the best of causes. How the fundraising to help children with cancer is not over just because the Inspiration 4 crew's back on Earth. We're back with that in about 5 minutes.